celebrating the Prophet's birth. Well, more into the top stories of the day, where today at the presidential residence of Qasr al-Ittihadiyya, His Excellency President Sisi had warmly received His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain. President Sisi extended heartfelt greetings to his Bahraini guests, expressing pride in the fraternal ties binding the two countries and appreciating Prince Salman's visit to what he referred to as his second home, Egypt. In return, Prince Salman conveyed the warm regards of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and praised the deep historic connections, aligned visions across key issues and continued strategic consultations between the two leaderships. Both leaders had reiterated the vital importance of bolstering their already robust bilateral relations, especially in the economic, commercial and investment sectors, and pledged to accelerate collaborative projects that serve the aspirations and the well-being of both peoples. Discussions also centered on regional developments, highlighting Egypt's critical efforts to restore stability, particularly in Gaza, through coordinated initiatives with Qatar, the United States, aiming at securing a ceasefire, the release of hostages and detainees, and alleviating humanitarian suffering. Both leaders strongly rejected any forced displacement of any people from their homeland and emphasized the urgent need to start Gaza reconstruction. And we're honored to have with us His Excellency Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former assistant to the Foreign Minister. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us, and many happy returns on the Prophet's birth.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador. Ambassador, today actually at the Ittihadiyya Palace, His Excellency the President received His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of Bahrain. And we can see that there is always, they are always seeing eye to eye vis-a-vis consultations on regional and international issues.
Yes, I am glad to follow what is happening there. And it is one part of the chain of efforts we are doing, especially on the presidential level, for our diplomacy and our relations with our very close neighbors, the Arab countries. And unfortunately, the Arab world is not in good health. We have troubles everywhere around us, except in the Gulf states, many of the Gulf states, and Egypt, and maybe Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia. Else of that, we have in Syria 4 or 5 different occupying armies. Libya is divided. Sudan, unfortunately, its army, which is a sort of a symbol of the national unity, is divided also. Yemen, which is a member of the Arab League and the Treaty of Defense of the Arab World, became a threat to our security and to the navigation in the Red Sea and Suez Canal. This is what is around us. So I think, and for sure, that the two leaders are discussing such matters in order to face it by many ways. Also, our main problem nowadays, which is aggression against our brothers in Palestine and the continuous aggression against them. Same time, I think we are inviting our Gulf neighbor states to come and to visit our new areas like Al Alamein, because we want them to come and to invest. We don't, Egypt's not asking anymore its friends and its supporters to borrow money. No, we want them to come and to make benefits from investing in Egypt. And thank God that the Arab world is one main investor in Egypt, and Egypt is the largest Arab country attracting foreign direct investment. And we want to continue this, and we want to encourage these efforts in order to create much more projects, much more work for our working class, producing, exporting. This is very good, and really I believe that foreign direct investment is the head of the story nowadays, and we want it to expand, and we want every investor to come to Egypt to win and to make us also win and to share the winning situation there.
Yes. Your Excellency, both leaders had strongly rejected any forced displacement of any people from their homeland and further emphasized the urgent need to start Gaza reconstruction. So it's a very important aim, Egypt's bolstering, of course, Egypt's regional role vis-à-vis Gaza's reconstruction.
Yes, yes, of course. And Egypt is leading the initiative to the reconstruction of Gaza, and we shall continue doing this. The whole Arab world is with us, Qatar and the Gulf states also, and I hope that will very soon start to be on the ground. We are facing a problem that we have a government which is really accused by its Prime Minister is accused by the International Court of Law, and he cannot leave his country, otherwise he will be captured. Or in his own country, he is requested by the legal system to face trial. So his only escape is to continue the war and the aggression against Palestinians. But here Egypt's position concerning Palestine is not the position of a neighbor country or a brother country. No, I always repeat that 7,000 years before Christ, our army led by Ahmus went to Laziqiyya in Syria to fight against Al-Hussein when they came to invade this place. Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi also went against the Crusaders and Richard the Leonard and captured him. Then we are facing now this new issue since Napoleon failed to enter in Akka, and he invited the Jewish community in Europe to come and to occupy this place in order to divide the Arab world in the east from the Arab world in the west, and to exhaust our ability and our wealth, and to be the soldier of the West to make whatever the Western countries need in our area.
Yes. Your Excellency, Yes, Your Excellency, talking about Egypt's efforts to secure the region, coordinated initiatives, of course, with Qatar, as well as the states that are mainly aiming to secure a ceasefire, the release of the hostages, and also the humanitarian, alleviating the humanitarian suffering. So humanitarian aid as well is very important.
Yes, of course, because instead of killing people as they are doing in this aggression, they are killing people by hunger, by making children do not find water, clean water to drink. Mm-hmm. And it's not only us who is realizing this. The United Nations Agency for Refugees, UNRWA, is telling us that there isn't clean water for the children, and that our children are dying with hunger. Mm-hmm. This cannot continue like that. And here really I am amazed by the double-faced policy from either the Western countries or the United States, because on one hand, they are under the pressure of the public opinion. They are asking Israel to stop this. On the other hand, they are helping Israel with huge finance. $15 billion were paid to Israel in cash, beside the armaments, beside the support in the United Nations Security Council and the United Nations General Assembly. So we are facing a very strange situation, where they are saying something and doing something contrary. So we have to live with this, but My only hope, which is a small light in the end of the tunnel, that I admire the resistance of the Palestinians in their homeland, and they do not leave. They will never leave their country. And with our support, we have witnessed that the Israelis themselves, they are facing diminishing the number of citizens, because 500,000 Israelis left the country in the last 2 years, because their own countries in Europe or the America is much better than the situation the Israeli government is putting them in. So let us say that in the near future, the Palestinians will be the majority in Palestine. They will outnumber the number of Israelis there. So let us wait and see, but it needs patience. What I am worried about, that it is our public opinion is not happy at all, and they want us to take harsh measures, which is not, I do not advise at all. We don't need to do that. We don't need to commit a war against the United States. We cannot do it. But I think that to take the opportunity and the time not to do the job, this will lead us, let us say in 10 years, that we shall be everywhere in Palestine, and the Israelis will never have a chance unless they accept the two-state solution.
I thank you so much, Your Excellency, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former assistant to the Foreign Minister, for highlighting that important top story and the meeting between His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Bahrain. Well, we are also discussing more Egypt's role regionally and how Egypt had actually as an irreplaceable anchor in Africa, how Cairo is